तो बार बार मोहे दीजियो तो श्री वृंदावन को बार, ओ राधे तेरे चरणों की हर पग धूल जो मिल जाए, श्यामा तेरे चरणों की वो पग धूल जो मिल जाए, तो सच कहता हूँ और तकदीर बदल जाए, राधे तेरे चरणों की। सुनते हैं तेरी रहमतें दिन रात बरसती है, ओ सुनते हैं तेरी रहमतें दिन रात बरसती है, वो एक बूंद जो मिल जाए दिल की कली खिल जाए, राधे तेरे चरणों की पग धूल जो मिल जाए, तो सच कहता हूँ तकदीर बदल जाए, राधे तेरे चरणों की पग धूल जो मिल जाए।
Hare Krishna, and welcome to the ashram of Durvasa Muni, our place of visitation today. The wonderful thing about going to the ashram of Durvasa Muni is that we always go up the Jamuna by boat. This boat ride to Durvasa Muni's ashram is one of the highlights of our kartik parikrama. It is a nice opportunity for the devotees to get away from the sounds of car horns and the rickshaws always in the path, and beyond the Jamuna Devi herself, appreciating the wonderful pastimes that Krishna enacted here over 5,000 years ago. Reaching our hands into the sacred Jamuna water, we're able to take that water and sprinkle it on our heads and purify ourselves as we approach the ashram of Durvasa Muni. It's about a 1 hour ride in the boat down the Jamuna, to which one gets to see many of the different pilgrimage places which we enjoy very much. Arriving at the ashram of Durvasa Muni, it is very pleasantly situated on the cliffs overlooking the Jamuna River as it flows down towards Vrindavan. Standing on these cliffs amongst the banyan trees and the shade trees of Durvasa's ashram, one gets a feeling for why Durvasa would have picked such a place as this to execute his pastimes and austerities. Very, very wonderful, quiet, peaceful place where one can enjoy the old style of what Vrindavan was like many, many, many years ago, and in some cases, hundreds of years ago.
तो बार बार मोहे दीजियो तो श्री वृंदावन को बार, ओ राधे तेरे चरणों की हर पग धूल जो मिल जाए, श्यामा तेरे चरणों की वो पग धूल जो मिल जाए, तो सच कहता हूँ और तकदीर बदल जाए, राधे तेरे चरणों की। सुनते हैं तेरी रहमतें दिन रात बरसती है, ओ सुनते हैं तेरी रहमतें दिन रात बरसती है, वो एक बूंद जो मिल जाए दिल की कली खिल जाए, राधे तेरे चरणों की पग धूल जो मिल जाए, तो सच कहता हूँ तकदीर बदल जाए, राधे तेरे चरणों की पग धूल जो मिल जाए।
At the ashram of Durvasa Muni, there's a very fierce deity of Durvasa Muni with fire-like eyes, because he is one that is not to be crossed. There are many pastimes of Durvasa Muni's kindness, such as when he gave Srimati Radharani the benediction that everything she cooked would be just like nectar, and many opportunities to read about Durvasa Muni's cursing, such as when he inappropriately cursed Ambarish Maharaj for nothing more than taking a little bit of water. For this act, of course, we know from Srimad Bhagavatam, he was chased throughout the entire 3 planetary systems by none other than the Sudarshan Chakra of Lord Vishnu himself. Running to this personality and that personality, begging for mercy, even to Lord Vishnu himself, Lord Vishnu reminded him, "You cannot get my mercy and forgiveness because you have offended my devotee. Therefore, if you want the forgiveness, you have to go to my devotee you have offended." In this way, Durvasa Muni's pastimes are not only a direct example how not to offend devotees, but a direct example of how to make up for such offense by going to that devotee and begging for their mercy.
राधे तेरे चरणों की पग धूल जो मिल जाए तो सच कहता हूँ तकदीर बदल जाए। राधे तेरे चरणों की पग धूल जो मिल जाए। ओ ये मन बड़ा चंचल है कैसे तेरा भजन करूं। ये मन बड़ा चंचल है कैसे तेरा भजन करूं। जितना इसे समझाऊं उतना ही मचल जाए। नजरों से गिराना ना चाहे कितनी सजा देना। वो नजरों से गिराना ना चाहे जितनी सजा देना। गिर कल भी संभल जाए जो नजरों से भी गिर जाए मुश्किल ही संभल पाए। श्यामा तेरे चरणों की पग धूल जो मिल जाए तो सच कहता हूँ तकदीर बदल जाए।
So these pastimes we very much relish speaking about at the ashram of Durvasa Muni. There is one banyan tree there which is said to be many thousands of years old. And in that banyan tree are many beautiful parrots that follow in the footsteps of Sukha and Sari and speak about the pastimes of Lord Krishna. Also at that spot are some very, very big monkeys. But these monkeys are quite mellow and they don't bother most of the devotees there. They like to languish in the tree branches above the places where we speak and hear these pastimes as we talk them. So for the devotees, this is one of our favorite places, and it's very, very much shaded. So even if it's a hot Vrindavan day, you don't feel any distress. And if you feel too much distress, there's always the opportunity to just jump into the Jamuna and cool oneself off. So in this way, we very much appreciate coming to the ashram of Durvasa Muni, speaking about his pastimes, and remembering the activities of all the personalities of Vrindavan, and in this way, making our perfect time here at the Kartik Parikrama 2017. These are the reasons that on our parikramas we go to all these various holy places, not simply as a tourist for the sake of going this place and that place, but while at those places to take the dust of that place on our head and hear the pastimes from the saintly persons that are with us. In this way, we perfect our life and Prabhupada's instruction that we should come to these places once a year and purify ourselves. Thank you very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Vrindavan Dham. Hare Krishna.
vashishyate purnasya purnamadaya purnameva vashishyate ishyavashyamitam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bunjitaha magridaha kashva siddhanam om purnamadaha purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnameva vashishyate purnamadaha purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnameva vashishyate anejade kamanasho javyo naina deva apnuvan purvamashat tadhavatonjani tatitishtat tashminapomattarishvadadati tade jati tadnai jati tadhure tadvantike tarantarasya sarvasya tadu sarvasyasya bhayata sapaya jakshakarma kaya navinam ashnaviram sudam papavidam kavyamannisi paripu swayambhu yatayatatoritan yadadak echasatibhya samavyaha om purnamadaha purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnameva vashishyate purnamadaha purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnameva vashishyate purnamadaha purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnameva vashishyate om purnamadaha purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnameva vashishyate hiranmayena patrena satyasya pihitam mukham tattvam pushana pavinu satyadharmaya dristaye vayuranilam amritam athedam bashmatam sharidam om krito smara kritam smara krito smara kritam smara agnenaya supatare asman vishmani deva vayanani vidhanyo yashman juhuranamino buhishtam tena malutam videna om purnamadaha purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnameva vashishyate purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnameva vashishyate.
Anadi karma pale Podi bhavana bhajale Bare na dekhiyo bhai, thori bare na dekhiyo bhai, anati kama pale He Vishaya halahale Devanishi jiva jale manakabo sukha nahi bhai.
Hare Krishna and welcome to our Vrindavan Kartik Parikrama 2017. It's been a tradition for us for the last almost 10 years now to come to Vrindavan with a group of devotees from different parts of the world on the invitation actually of Srila Prabhupada, and go to the holy places, have kirtan, discuss the leelas that took place there, to nurture our bhaktivedanta bead, seed of devotion. In the Shastras it said that there are 5 things that are particularly helpful for making spiritual advancement: chanting Hare Krishna, hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam, associating with devotees, worshipping the deity, and living in or visiting holy places. Jiva Goswami actually states in his Sandarbhas that by performing any one of these activities, even a neophyte devotee can experience ecstasy.
He Vishaya halale Devanishi jale manakabu sukha nahi bhai. Anadi karma pale bodhi bhavana vajale.
So again on Prabhupada's invitation we have come. It's a tradition, especially during the month of Kartik, because this is a special month of the year where, well, one makes great spiritual advancement, not only here in India but anywhere in the world. But in Vrindavan we understand that any devotional service that is done, one of the 9 types of devotional service, the result of that service is magnified 1,000 times. So all devotees are eager for spiritual advancement. So we assemble each year to do our parikrama. Of course, not everyone can come. All the devotees around the world, they have their various responsibilities: school, work, family, society, etc. We'll be filming our program as we go out onto these various holy places and having kirtan, etc. We'll be filming that for all of you, so you can join us. There's a saying that a picture is worth 1,000 words, so I can imagine that a video is worth 10,000 words. So please join us as we do our parikrama in this auspicious month of Kartik. Again, it's only by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada that we find ourselves here. I remember in the early 1970s in Mayapur, Srila Prabhupada said from the Vyasa that he wanted all of his disciples to come every Gaur Purnima to Mayapur for that festival. We were stunned when we heard that. And actually that evening I heard that some of the senior men, some of the GBC, they actually asked Prabhupada, everyone should come and every year, because they were thinking it could create a financial crisis back home in the various temples. But Prabhupada was adamant. He said, yes, if possible, try to come to India, try to come to Vrindavan, try to come to Mayapur, because when we come here, we become so inspired. And we can go back and perform our services with more spiritual strength and inspiration. Another time I heard Srila Prabhupada say in his room in Vrindavan that Vrindavan is for inspiration. We come here to use a common saying to get our batteries recharged.
Hasha Basha Shata Shata Klesha Deya Virata Pravritirumira Taye Kela Kama Krodha Anichor Bhatapade Deyabhor Avasana Holom Ashivela.
Prabhupada wanted that we spread the Sankirtan movement all over the world. That's our main business, preaching. This is a missionary movement. But Srila Prabhupada also wanted that we become pure devotees of the Lord. So what better place to come than Vrindavan? Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu states that of all the holy places in the world, or in the universe, in the material creation, Vrindavan is the most holy, because this is the place that the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself, Swayam Bhagavan Krishna, comes and performs his Leela to attract us back to the spiritual world. And of all the residents of Vrindavan, those who have the purest, deepest love for Krishna is the gopis. We feel fortunate that we're here performing Shravanam, Kirtanam, etc. And we'll be very happy to share our experiences with you, our humble, meager realizations, so you can be inspired from afar from this great Dham of Sri Vrindavan. So please stick with us for the next 4 weeks. Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Shri Radha Shyam.
Pada Padma Dhuli Kore Deho Bhakti Vinode Ashoy Hamitava Nitya